Hey, what's happening, y'all? Elton McFall here. Pretty beat, pretty beat. I gotta tell you, I'm gonna start off right away telling. I know often I complain I'm tired because, well, I used to complain more when I was tired because I had that pericarditis heart condition for crying out loud. But thankfully, it's pretty much gone with the wind. Anyway, the bright sun is sort of shining here in the office, and I'm also tired because yesterday I went for a really long walk and I kind of regret it a bit because I didn't film much or photograph much. But again, it's great exercise, and I tell you, I recommend it for anybody, especially if ever you're dealing with depression. You have to get out there. You have to get out there and walk because, as I once heard in a great movie, motion creates emotion. So that's your lesson for today. Now I've turned the lights off here in the office because I just finished the painting, and I've noticed that although this phone makes great videos, it does have a light compensation thing. So I always want my paintings to look as exactly as I see them, because I don't want there to be a shred of doubt of what I'm doing or how things look. And so, like, for example, I'm next to my window here, and so there's going to be a bit of a glare, but again, should look okay. There's Gloria next to some license plates there given to me by Jack. Jack's the West. Thanks again, buddy. And this one here, I picked it up off the side of the road. There's one of the fire trucks I got from my friend Ed years ago. There's the Chevy you might have seen recently that I fixed up there. I made a junker as of in the 90s. Been enjoying some of the tunes on the old Grundig, but a lot of it also on satellite radio. And here it is. I've been keeping this baby a secret. Oh, yes, I have. Because I didn't really do this for anybody in particular, but I know at least two guys that might be interested in it. So, hence my friends out west, and therefore, well, I would imagine more out west. I don't think the Rcmp is as much of a big deal here in Quebec. So, but regardless, there are police car fans all over the place, and not all Quebecers are separatists, as you can imagine. By the way. Boy, there's a lot to say about this, but I'm really tired. I don't feel like going into it too much. So, how am I going to begin here? Well, yeah. So the thing is that friends, the guy I know, I don't. Recently, I watched a video of Scott's of his friend Derry, who has this exact RCMP. It's a '78 Ford Custom. I keep thinking in my mind it's an LTD. Well, yeah, but the thing is that in those years, the LTD was basically the higher version up of this was a base model Ford Custom 500. So basically, police, taxi fleets, and so forth, company cars, rentals. And he restored it. He restored other RCM or other police cars. Really, actually blew my mind quite a bit when we saw his collection. And I thought, well, you know what? I really was taken by this car. I said, I got to do a painting of this thing. It's really amazing. You know what? As a matter of fact, I got to stand up because I've been sitting so long hunched over that my friggin' back is hurting. So maybe we could give it a better look here. Oh, by the way, did you notice that I painted? Look at that. For once in my life, I actually did a painting where I painted the edges. Yes, no extra charge. And yeah, there we go. Come on now. Like, give me a second, guys. God darn it. Okay, yeah, this is where I like this thing to sit. This is really where it looks really exact. There's no glare pretty much at all. And so anyways, like I was saying, this guy Derry, who Scott filmed this cop car, they did a feature on it, and I was taken by it. I said, oh man, I said, this is really cool. It's an RCMP. It's actually a real police car. It's not a clone like a lot of cop cars are clones. They're not real police cars, but this was an actual RCMP car that he restored. And I thought to myself, yeah, like I said in the beginning, I probably said, because I talked too much, said, probably there's a good chance I might get one of the boys out there to buy this. I haven't even come up with a price yet because this one took more work than the last two paintings. It wasn't, and actually, I have to say, it's funny. I mean, I've got a fascination with tornadoes and all that, so it was a pleasure to make that. I was just thinking what kind of a background I was going to do. I was kind of stumped on that, and I'm like, yeah, let's do a tornado. Let's do like as if it's at night. That's why the car is like darker than it actually is. The grass is dark. There's a couple, three coats on that, and then there's the, what do they call it? The fan brush it did with the grass. That stuff wasn't the hard part. The hard part was really this car. For one thing, as you can see, my only trouble with doing paintings this size, I only buy these canvases, these 16 by 20 canvases, because they're cheap, frankly. They're like $5 a piece, you know. And but again, it's to fit these big old gas-sucking American cars that I love, and you probably love, to get them in the frame properly. It's hard for me to do that. Let me just see what it looks like at the light. Does it look any different with the light on the camera? Eh, yeah, a little bit, eh? So, but other than that, whatever. I love it. It's great. I'm thrilled with it. It was actually not easy to believe it or not, to draw this right correctly. It took me a while to really proportion this correctly, because when I started this, today is what, Saturday the 12th? So I started this on Monday, which was the 7th. So it took me 6 days. It's probably about 15 hours, maybe a bit more. And it was hard to get the right color texture as well, to look right. And even the tires, I was really going hardcore and trying to make this as much perfection as possible. And I didn't forget to put the CB antennas and the spotlight. And then also I had to recheck the pictures too, to make sure to look at, because I took some screenshots from the video, because there's no pictures of this car on Google's, which means that Derry doesn't drive these cars much. I really stay inside all the time. And that's fine. Like, a lot of people have collector cars. They don't want to put miles on them. Shit, I mean, Scott has a 67 Fury. He drives it once a year. So, again, cars are meant to be enjoyed, but they also need to be preserved, because, as Scott said, he's afraid one day he's going to drive that Fury, and he's going to hit whatever, and it's going to break the windshield. So windshields are one of the most common things you can replace on cars, whether they're driven in the country or the city. And of course, the things that were more daunting, aside from doing the body colors to be exact, and also I had to my God, I don't even know how much paint I have on that body. I have so much paint on that body. I must have about like 7 coats or something. And then I kept overlapping. It's a good idea to use the light here from the camera. I kept overlapping into the door and the blue, so I had to keep painting this back. And then, of course, finishing with this was not easy, as you can imagine, because it's so tiny. Even the details, also to do the details with the hubcaps and the tires, and also this patch here. I found that online. I said, "Yeah, we're gonna put that in there." I didn't think it would look cool. Like my friend Antoine, when I did his pacer for him, and I did the AMC symbol on the right. It's like the red, white, and blue. And of course, yeah, it's a roadblock. So, roadblock, whatever, impending tornado passing by or whatever. Just really cool. It was a fun project. But yeah, it had some. Oh, that's the thing I forgot to mention, is when I started this on Monday, I was like bloody tired. I was behind on sleep, and when you don't sleep enough, it's like, man, it's tough, and so it's not the best time to be doing artwork. But then there was one thing here. I thought this was chrome. I thought this was a chrome bezel for the side marker lights, but actually on the LTD it's chrome. But this is again a custom 500. There's no deluxe chrome anything. And it's funny, I saw one recently for sale out west in Alberta, in Edmonton. Beautiful, bright red 4-door hardtop, custom 500. Man, beautiful. Like, God, I'm trying to remember the mileage on it. Something like, I don't know, 50,000 or whatever kilometers. So that's it. I'm not going to mention a price, because I haven't made up my mind, really. I usually say $250, and people always say, "Oh, you should ask more for your paintings and stuff." And Scott, who I've sold a few of my paintings for, I never charge him a full price, not just because he's a friend, but he's a patron. He's a patron as well on Patreon. So I don't know. We're gonna see who bites, and see and I'm gonna go from there. And if him or Dean or anybody else buy it, well then, whatever. Well, you're interested, let me know if you're interested in the comments, or get in touch with me, and I'll keep you in mind, But hey, as a matter of fact, hey, if ever you would like, if you never saw the video, this was really only because I got duped into doing this, but never was paid. But again, if you're interested in having your old vehicle painted, or one that you had or your parents had or whatever, an old car, truck, bus, well, it starts at $250. $30 for shipping in North America, so that's almost just $280. And again, 16 by 20 inch canvas. If it's a more detailed if it's a more detailed vehicle, like a bus, school bus, transit bus, a coach, trucks, anything like that has a lot of detailed trains. Well, it's going to be more than that. It'll probably be minimum 300, $400, and larger canvas. So that's it, guys. Thanks for watching. Take care. Appreciate your positive comments and encouragement. And yeah, I have to say, by the way, yeah, it's been 2 months and almost a week tomorrow that I quit smoking the herbs. So yeah, it was hard at first, which is why I didn't pay anything for a while. But it's funny to also do this because I forgot to mention, the last two paintings I did before the Suzuki, I did, 59 Ford and 59 Meteor. And then of course I have the big LTD taxi painting that I did. So this is like the second LTD painting that I do from that era, 73 to 78, which I'll show you right here. There's Christine, in case any of you are ever in Montreal or you want to come and buy this, $500. And there's the CTC Montreal commuter train. And there's the big painting. There's the big LTD right there, which is amazing. I actually still have it. Surprised nobody ever really bought it, but then again, we're not in New York here, eh? And of course, it's not cheap either, this painting. So let's just say it's over $1,000. And yeah, that's a real hubcap. And I'm going to finish with one of the last paintings I did, not before the Suzuki, but before the 59 Ford that I did for Rob out in Saskatchewan. But there it is. There's the 59 Meteor. It's in my bathroom. So if ever you're interested in this, also let me know. I'm going to do this one $250 shipping included, just to get it out the door there. Because the thing that took the longest to do on this bloody car was actually the, I say bloody car, it was fun to do, but the grill alone took 4 hours. So that's really the most incredible thing to do. That's the hardest grill I've ever had to paint. Which is funny because it took 4 hours to do the grill on this Plymouth, on this Christine. So go figure. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Take care.